Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another edition of First Look. And in this edition of First Look, I'll be doing First Look, UFC Fight Night, Holloway versus Zombie. So with this series, which is typical of this series or what it has become, I'm just gonna kind of point out, I guess, 4 or 5 fights that stick out to me. And I think this week, I'm not necessarily gonna just pick, these fights is like I'm really looking at them is I'm gonna bet on them necessarily. I probably will most likely bet on just about all of them, not every single fight, but the ones I'll mention. But am I like saying like I'm really zeroed in, like so locked in on these ones, like these ones stick out above all? No. And is that the same for every week? Not really either. But I think in particular this way, just in particular this week, I'm not really jumping in on the ones like, oh my gosh, this guy is minus 2 billion, but like he's gonna win 2 billion times out of 20 or something. It's not that. Maybe the main event, but other than that, it's just like I don't understand the value, and being not understanding the value for clear reasons, not just like saying, I don't understand it. Like it's something I'm missing. I don't think I'm missing anything. It's possibility to make some plus money, and I know that's music to y'all's ears. Like I don't have to stack some favorites together to get some plus money. Like it's already some plus money on this card that's looks clean and clear. Yes, or at least somewhat clean and clear. Or at least you got some pretty good odds of that plus money going through. And yeah, so I actually said a lot in only a minute. I'm surprised. I'm impressed, but now I'm all over the place. But first fight will be Jarno Evans versus Sungwoo Choi. Sungwoo Choi, I think like minus 200. I think minus 200 something, and Jarno Evans is at like plus 164. And why is Sungwoo Choi even a favorite at this point? He's like on a 3-fight losing streak. Really could be on a 3-fight stopping streak. Kulabau was picking him apart, dropping him at will at times, and hurting him at will. And then Alex Ceres choked him out, and he just got knocked out by Trezano. And I know why it's not like oh my God, it's the person he's fighting should be a lock to beat him. I understand that. I understand why he could be a small favorite, but not a big favorite, because it's not like Jarno Evans in some stud or anything. So this is fight, he's taking a pretty sizable step down in competition, but the momentum he's on is terrible. And at this level, to be so I guess predictable and one-track minded, and just constantly chasing the finish with a big punch and head hunting. That's what's been losing him a lot of fights. I think in Caceres' fight was the start of all his his downtrend, because he started out like he was about to start Alex Caceres. He was supposed to go out there start Alex Caceres, and it was like he was doing that. But then he got too predictable. And Alex Caceres was able to counter him with like a hook, and then counter him with like a hook, and then spun him. I think he took his back and choked him out, or something like that. I think that's kind of pretty much played out. And then other people started to do that. Like Kulabau saw him like this head hunting. Kulabau didn't stop him. I think later on in the fight, Choi started to switch to like a wrestling approach, and that made it like a split decision, even though it was clear that Kulabau was winning the first 2 rounds or hurting Sungwoo Choi at will and just picking him apart. But yeah, when you can have all the skills, but when you limit your skills and just one track minded and you can't seem to get off that track, I think he fell in love with his power, and I think he just dealt that's all he needed, and he just started looking for it so much, and then his opponents have been able to exploit that. And I think Jarno Evans can exploit it, so at plus money, I think that's great value. I don't think anyone should feel confident putting any money on Choi at all. I would recommend you not. But I think Evans is good money, and I think at a dog value, I think he's really good money. But I'm not saying bet the house on him, no. But I just think that's worth a bet to throw in, into your rotation or whatever for this card. And yeah, so Jarno Evans the first one. I like him as a dog here. I think that's a very good value. I don't think he should be the dog, and I don't think there should be no confidence in Sungwoo Choi. But it is what it is. That's where it's at right now. It'll probably shift, but for you, get in right now, and you can get it at a good time. Next one is Yusaku Kinoshita versus Billy Golf. Billy Golf is a dog, I think, right now. I forget what the odds are. I'm not really like looking at the phone or looking at some laptop or anything, so I'm just doing this off the top of my head based on what I've seen. But I know Billy Golf is the dog. I think he's not as big of a dog as Jarno Evans is. I think he like he's like plus 132 or something, I believe. Then again, just off the top of my head, I know he's a dog. But why is Yusaku Kinoshita the favorite? I see a similar style, not necessarily exactly or even that close exactly, but I could see a similar enough style to replicate his last loss for Yusaku Kinoshita. He comes out steaming. He comes out like confidence. I don't know what he's gonna shift. He's a young fighter, and it is yet another case where I know that the fighter he's fighting, or the dog in his fight, is not like he's such a stud, or hasn't proven to be such a stud. And even you saw Kinoshita hasn't really proven to be a stud. He didn't fight really the best competition before coming to UFC. He's only 22 years old, so it's a given he's not gonna fight the best competition unless he's just some prodigy phenom and like, I'm 22 and I already fought the best of the best or something. I already fought world champions, and world champions, like recognizable, like solid world champion, not just, oh, I have a little weak McDonald's belt, but like, I was a Glory, I don't know, I was a Bellator, PFL, or even Cage Warriors champion, something like that. But yeah. Yeah, he's young, and with the path I see is I think he kind of similar to Choi. He falls in love with power. He starts chasing. He kind of has hands low, chest poked out like he a Greek god or something, and too in love with his power, leaving himself open for counters, leaving himself open for everything, to be honest, and then reaching for these shots and committing to these big punches and trying to look for that finisher, being so aggressive could lead to takedowns. And Billy Goff in his fight on the contender series, he got hurt, but then he was relentless, got back up and just drowned his opponent. And Kinoshita has really just shown to be a really a first round fighter, or not really necessarily a first round fighter. I've seen him go deeper rounds even in his contender series fight, but he's definitely a guy who has most of his steam early, or at least historically. But I can see a similar thing to his last fight where he just really got worn down, then tapped out against I'm forgetting dude's name right now. I'm not even gonna try to pull off the top of my head, but I know exactly who I'm talking about. I got a visual of him, but the name eludes me. Especially when you don't off the top of my head, I'm not like reading some notes and then saying like, I'm gonna say this for the video. I'm just skim, and yeah, because it's first look. But yeah, I think Billy Goff has the recipes to repeat the same exact loss that are similar loss to what how Kinoshita lost his last fight. And I don't understand why he's a favorite. I feel like it should be Pick'em, and it's not too far from Pick'em. I think it could easily shift to Pick'em by the time of the fight, or even before. I think a lot of people aren't on it just yet. They aren't really focused on this card just yet. But when they do focus on the card, I think he's going to shift to like probably a pick'em fight. The next one, I'm definitely not predicting Na Liang to win against JJ Aldrich. Well, I'm not going to say definitely. I don't know what I'm going to do. But it's seeming like a definitely, but it's not for sure a definitely. But most likely going to pick JJ Aldrich there. But betting wise, I just feel like it's completely foolish to bet any money on JJ Aldrich. Even if she was minus 300, it would be foolish to bet money on her. But at minus 600, that's extremely foolish to bet money on her. She's a solid fighter, but I feel Na Liang could catch her with some weird knee, catch her with some weird stuff. It's not like JJ Aldrich is like some super. She's a solid fighter, but it's not like she's just such a trustworthy stud. Like she's such a good striker. Her chin's so solid. She's so durable. She'll go 15 rounds with 15 minutes with anyone. Like 20 minutes, 25 minutes with anyone. Like her chin is titanium. Like she's not that. Or at the very least, she won't get caught like that. We have seen her get caught in fights she was winning a couple times. We have seen her lose fights she should have lost. And it's very much trending like this would be a time especially with the odds as dumb as they are right now, that Na Liang pulls off the upset. But yeah, I ain't putting no real confidence in Na Liang at all. I'm not putting no confidence in her. But at that plus, 400, 440, 450, it might be worth a sprinkle. Or, when the rest of the props come in, Na Liang maybe in the distance. Maybe she catch her with some stepping knee. Maybe she catch her in some wild submission. It's definitely it's MMA. It could definitely happen. It's not like, again, JJ Aldrich is this super stud that, she's going to come through every single time. But not she like this stud. Like, she's a beast. She just chokes in title fights or interim title fights or big fights like that. But everyone else, she's like a stud. That's not her. She's definitely liable to disappoint you. So minus 600 is just stupid. I don't know who got the money and putting that on her. That's just stupid. Don't do it. Don't put her in no parlays. Don't put no money line on her. Even if she wins, in hindsight, like, well, she won. Why'd you not do it? Like, you're just, even like hindsight, nah, I will still say I was right to say what I said about it, because she's not worth it. And there's better values and better spots on this card. In other cards, and it's like 52, 30, I don't know, plenty of cards out of the year to make better bets on than to put that much money on JJ Aldrich. That's just stupid. Literally stupid. And the fourth one, I think I'm gonna stick to 4. I'm mixing. I'm just gonna stick to 4, but I will mention the main event just cause like it's first look. Let's talk about the main event a little bit, just cause it's the main event. So we'll get them some little bit of attention, a little bit of respect, even though they got plenty of other attention. And my attention really don't mean nothing to them. But yeah, but the fourth one is Ryan Spann. Well, Alex, what's his name? I forget his name literally in the video. But yeah, Anthony Smith. I was saying Alex Smith. I was about to say Alex. I didn't say nothing. But Anthony Smith versus Ryan Spann 2. And I don't really see why Ryan Spann is shifted to the favorite. I know he's a small favorite, but it still should be Anthony Smith is the favorite, like over Ryan Spann. He beat him pretty easily in their last fight. And it's not like he had looked super bad in these last couple fights he's lost. It's like he wasn't there. But Ryan Spann's not a guy that's going to be to really fight an intelligent game plan for a long period of time. It's like he either probably going to get a quick finish. And really, he's going to get a quick finish. That's about it. It like seems like he either gets a quick finish or he gets quick finished or he just wears down and gets finished. But am I saying like, oh my gosh, lock Anthony Smith? No. Given where he's at, I can understand why he might not have the best odds. But I still think all that being said, I feel like he should be the favorite. So him at plus money is a very good value given the fact that he beat and destroyed Ryan Spann not too long ago. He's still the more technical overall fighter. Ryan Spann got a lot of gifts, but he's tuned up some of them. He's getting better and better, but I think, I don't know, fight IQ, something in the mind is going to keep him from reaching his full potential. I don't think he'll ever reach it. And it's not like he's coming off some phenomenal fight. I think he got tapped out, come out strong, steam faded, then he got finished. I think, was it in the first round? All that happened in the first round or like second round? But either way, came out looking pretty good, faded, and got tapped out. But then with Krylov has shown a pretty sturdy chin for the most part. Yeah, either way, plus money when you already got that beat that guy before. And it's not like that guy like has turned around and become some different fighter. He hasn't really. He has some moments, but he's always been that guy that has some moments, and then he has some highlights, then he has some lowlights. He has always been that guy. I think he'll be that guy until he retires. And then when you get older, it just turns to a bunch of lowlights. But that's gonna be him. That's what it seemed like. I don't see no championship material out of him, no title shot material out of him, but mostly he might be able to cut into that top 5 with one big win. But sustainability, growth ability and stuff, I'm making words up, don't really see it for him. But yeah, Anthony Smith, still the more technical fighter, still the more experienced fighter. I think still the better raw fighter. It just, if he could lock in mentally and it's not even about checking in mentally. It's about not checking out mentally. He should be good. And I think he should be the pull through on this one. So at plus money, he's pretty good. Am I saying, oh my gosh, this is one of my favorite picks for the card? I'm not, but I just don't agree with the odds, and it sticks out to me upon my first look. Is the title of the series goes. But now the main event, I think Holloway's at minus 850 last time I checked, and he definitely deserves minus 850 or minus 1,000, maybe minus 1,200. So good value there, given how much of a lock this one is, to be honest. He just coming off a win over Arnold Allen. He has shown a sturdy chin. I don't think he has even been dropped in his MMA career or his UFC career at least. And he's been with a lot of the best guys. He's still pretty young. And Chance of Jung isn't a better boxer. He isn't faster. He's more technical. He's talking about retirement. He's older. And he's like in this one to really beat Holloway. He's kind of relying on. Matter of fact, he's heavily relying on dropping him or finishing him. Really, mostly finishing him. Not even just dropping him. It's about finishing him. Because Holloway's going out work him. He's going out box him. And Korean Zombie is going to be too stiff, too slow. And already talking about retirement. Like this is talking about retirement. He might say, "I want one more fight. I want to give me the easiest fight in the division or the easiest fight in the UFC. Give me Ryan Bader." He might say that after this fight and try to get that retirement fight. But no disrespect to Ryan Bader. I'm just quoting Daniel Cormier. It's funny. And obviously different weight classes and different organizations. But yeah, Ryan Bader's a beast. But yeah, I think everything just saying heavily lean Holloway here. I don't see a path to victory for Korean Zombie. I know he's a solid fighter, very underrated fighter. Definitely his grappling is heavily underrated, but this is not Holloway of 2011, 2012, or 2013 or something like that, or 2014, when his wrestling really was on point. So that's not even a question. So Holloway got every advantage in this one, and also his wrestling in BJJ is very underrated as well, probably even more so underrated. But yeah, it's really not that many paths to victory for like actually viable. Matter of fact, it's like no real viable path to victory for Korean Zombie because you rely on a punch chance against a guy that hasn't even been dropped and still got 30, one of the better chins in the sport, and still not like he over the hill 38. He still 32, 33, or probably even younger than that. So no real viable path for Korean Zombie. Max Holloway is going to be a lock. I can say it here, and I'll say it in my quick pick, and I'll say it in my full card fight prediction video. Max Holloway's a lock. So, yeah. At that value, he's pretty good value. And maybe you could play it in the distance or play Max Holloway like via TKO or something, but and get a better value. But Max Holloway money line, this Max Holloway in general in that one is a lock pick. And that's the video. So you got your 4 in the main event. You got I'm just gonna name the name of the fighter. You got Jarno Aarons again. Well, I'm gonna say both. Jarno Aarons versus Sungwoo Choi. So Jarno Aarons is a plus money. I think around plus 164 right now. You got Billy Golf versus Yusaku Kinoshita. I think Billy Golf is like not mine. I think Billy Golf is like plus 132 right now, so good value there. Third one is Na Liang versus JJ Aldrich. Not picking her, but you know, maybe betting her in the distance, you could get that at even a greater value. I think she's plus 450. And it's not like JJ Aldrich is this trustworthy stud or anything, so better to sprinkle a little bit on Na Liang and just fade JJ Aldrich all the way as far as on the betting side of things. Fourth one is Anthony Smith versus Ryan Spann. Fought him before, beat him. Anthony Smith is like, I think, plus 120. It's still pretty close. I'm plus 135, something small, meager like that. Against Ryan Spann, man, he already beat before. And Ryan Spann hasn't really shown no great evolution. He has had great moments, but he has always been that guy with great moments and then low lights. Highlights, low lights. So how much is he really improving? Has he really even changed as a fighter, or he's still the same guy that just a little bit better? Yeah, Smith has his own issues, but at that money, and again, the fact that not a whole lot has necessarily changed, Smith plus money is a pretty good value. Is it a steal? Not necessarily, but it's definitely great value to have him at plus money. And then the main event, Max Holloway is like minus 180, 850 versus Chan Sung Jung, but he's a lot confident pick, and that pick will go through for sure. And I can guarantee that. So, yeah. Troy kind of relying on like, yeah, what's his name? I'm saying choice. Its name is Chan Sung Jung. Yeah, Jung is relying on that a finish, and it's just not gonna come for him. If anything, he's gonna be the one to get finished. So it's really very slim chance, if any, that or even a slim path to victory for him. And he's definitely fighting a huge uphill battle. And is he really even having the will to fight that battle, given the fact that he already talked about retirement and this possibly being his retirement fight? But yeah, those are the first look things to look at, the values to look at. And, you know, maybe do some more research yourself. I'll do more research and then come up with some predictions and whatnot. And you could join the Discord. If interested, just drop a comment below or something, and I'll open the Discord back up, or I'll send you the link or whatnot. And if you want to pay that 50 a month, or not 50 a month, it's 50 one time for a lifetime. And it's like, right now it's like 10 a month. If you want to do the 10 a month, or you want to do the one payment of $50 for lifetime, and the Discord is actually free, but you're talking about the premium picks, so you can see all of the picks I'm predicting instead of the free ones. Yeah, you could join the Discord, DM me on there, and just do the 10 a month, 50 once for a lifetime, and yeah. Or you can join Discord and just have a conversation. That'd be dope, because I'm there to conversate. And it's pretty easy to find me on there, or my socials, but especially the Discord. That's the easiest place to like communicate with me. But yeah, that's the video. That's the values. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. And again, if you want interested, just drop a comment below, and I'll just send you the link, and then I might even make another community post. But that's the video. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe, and come back for more videos. Peace.